Welcome back, adventurers, to another episode of A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. I'm Nick,
And I'm Chili.
and today we have a special guest in the back with my wife. Say hi, wife.
I am.
So today we are just going to get started because apparently we have a very hard time keeping track of things, and when I say things, keeping track of time. We're doing Axiom the reason why I picked Axiom is because I like Axiom and I get it now. I get the resupply, everything. I get it now. But the problem is that technically this is still my least favorite faction.
Okay,
Like,
fair enough.
after playing a lot of Lyra and Bravos and a little bit of like going against the Munas, I think this is like not even from I don't even know why, but it's just like when you rank things, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Just out of the six, this is the lowest tier in my opinion.
You know what?
Even though it's such a good faction, it is a great faction. So I don't know. It's a weird thought process that I have with this one. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because Izuri is the only hero that you can play, and genuinely, this is probably my favorite of the heroes in Axiom. If I'm going to be 100% honest.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I love
awesome.
Izuri. Izuri is so much fun. It's so good. So, and the
She's really
fact,
cool. And the Golem is really cool. It's basically a character that is part Aerolith.
yeah, Pebble's got freaking aerolith fingernails. What's not to love?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can see that, but I think it's really funny. Anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and get started with Abandoned Depot. First card in the Axiom set for Skybound Odyssey. It is okay. You're gonna notice this. There are a lot of landmarks for Axiom in this set. So, Abandoned Depot, 3 from hand, 3 from reserve in the common. On play, honestly, this is. I don't know why I didn't pick this card, but this is just. I would say this is my runner up. Because honestly, you play it to draw a card and you sacrifice it to draw a card. And you can pay 1 to sacrifice it.
In terms of its best use is probably in Sierra, the common for 3. You draw a card because you're constantly going to have more than 2 landmarks and just get another draw a card. That's one of the issues that we've had with Axiom not having the ability of drawing. The other one that it may really support is Subash, is to get something out there that allows them to get some level of card draw because they don't have that. They also the resource stuff is still an issue for Subash. Isari, of course, is really useful as well, except they don't get the benefit of getting anything out on the field by having this. Whereas that's why I think it's more for Sierra at the common. The rare, I guess any of them can use it, given it costs 2, so it's not too bad. You can still play something.
So specifically the rares, 2 from hand, 2 from reserve, and instead of sacking it to draw, you sack it to resupply.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, Trace might like that a lot, but, like at least you're putting stuff into your reserve.
Yeah, although I'd prefer having the draw than a resupply.
I would agree, 100%. So,
but useful. I haven't seen that many people play it yet.
I haven't yet either.
Again, we're very early in terms of the season and people's use of it. There are some other ones that are probably more used, but not a bad card to begin with.
Yeah. Okay, moving right along into Aerolith Quarry. Another landmark permanent, shocker. 2 from hand, 2 from reserve. At noon, if your opponent is first player, create an Aerolith token in your landmarks. The rare says 3 from hand, 3 from reserve. Same effect as the common, but it has an extra. When you sacrifice a permanent, you may exhaust me to give target character 1 boost. I'm not going to lie. This card was built for Izuri.
Oh, it's basically only Izuri where you'd really care about it so much, especially with the benefit that she has of creating 1 on her turn, now 1 on your turn. Really, really useful. The art is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things in the lore associated to this card that's kind of interesting is the focus on saying, like, did we not learn anything from what we just saw in the City of Scholars? You're just destroying the resources, which will then kill the place. And they go and do exactly the same thing again.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about that, too, is I think somebody confirmed that a lot of the architecture that you find in Skybound Odyssey matches the City of Scholars.
Yeah, so in Abandoned Depot, and in the lore with that as well as we're talking about it, that's basically them saying, hey, these are bits it's the same thing that was in the City of Scholars.
Yeah.
So you saw them escape. Maybe when we get to the fifth set, which has already been spoiled a little, you were going to see some survivors from the City of Scholar. We don't know.
Yeah. But I love this card. Genuinely, I played this in pre-release with Izuri. This card is nuts. It's so good, in my opinion.
And it's so cheap for 2.
Yeah.
To basically get you that on the next turn, especially if you play it on your turn.
Yeah. So you're guaranteed an Aerolith every turn if you can keep this out. Just indefinitely. And it's so. And here's the thing, Izuri is going to be sacking so many permanents that the fun part is that you can basically pick whenever you want to do this. Like for the rare, at least.
Yeah, but on the rare, it's a little bit weird. There's no characters that really, like, most of the time you want to sacrifice at dusk, at rest.
Yeah.
But you don't usually have any characters that stick around at noon, like at night to the next day. They're not anchored, they're not sleeping. So the benefit is only useful if you have to sacrifice a permanent to do it. You don't really do that during gameplay in most of the time.
I mean, that's true.
Possible.
But here's the thing, is that you can dig one of 2 ways. You can dig by resupplies or you can dig by drawing. In Izuri, drawing is a lot harder to do than resupplying. So if you're digging for something and you specifically want it in your reserve, you're going to be, I'm not going to lie, I did it quite a bit where I was just paying the one to sack something and I got exactly what I needed.
Oh, nice.
So it's technically not bad.
Yeah, there's no way I'd say bad, but I would prefer the common.
What? Oh wait, no. But is it deck to reserve? One of the Axiom Frostbound, Icebound something.
It's from your hand to your reserve, or from your deck to your reserve.
Oh my gosh, that card. I think we might see a resurgence in some of those.
You could. I actually think that would be a useful card having in Izuri.
Yeah.
Because you can get that benefit
so quick
by getting a resupply.
Yeah.
So
this is giving me ideas now for an Izuri deck. That's not good. All right, Aerolith Reef. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so it's a 2/2. When played from anywhere, at the common, you may send to reserve target character with hand cost 2 or less, and at the rare, it's exactly the same for 2 resources, but it has a special ability. When I'm sacrificed, you can also resupply, and it allows you to sacrifice it on its own by paying the 1. I think this is really useful in a meta that is very cheap. You can use it multiple times alongside another of the permanents that we're going to talk about towards the end of today.
Yeah.
In terms of like being able to use Dr. Frankenstein multiple times, you can use this. You can get rid of anything that's boosted that costs 2 or less. You can get rid of tokens. Very useful, but at the same time, there are so many permanents. You've got to decide which ones you want, because most people are not going to have 10 to 20 permanents in their deck.
That's true.
Which are the ones that are more in line with what you want? I love the ability of sending a character to reserve because they've already paid the cost. So much better than Sabotage. They've paid the cost, and then you basically remove what they've spent.
Yeah. I really like this card. And the fact that you can play it and then immediately sack it to resupply. So you're basically getting a kind of like you said, the meta's very low. You get to send something to reserve. If it's fleeting, even better. But then you immediately can sacrifice it to resupply. Like that's not bad value. I feel like this. I don't know if anybody's going to get offended by this. I feel like, especially in this set, Axiom has become the dollar store. He's just like, I'm just going to pay the 1 to sacrifice and just resupply and draw and resupply
Axiom's been finally given the ability of having card advantage, which they didn't have outside of Traced.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a good card. All right, we're not going to talk about it. Alelo, Eerie Leviathan.
Yeah.
Out of faction from Izmir.
Can you see how there's that little ship on the right-hand side of his face? Shows the size of this crazy thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're not called Leviathans for no reason. So, Alelo is the out of faction in Axiom. 4 from hand, 4 from reserve, 1 all stats. But it is gigantic, and it is also considered an expedition permanent, even when not in play.
No idea what that means because we've never had that. There's nothing that says if you've got a permanent in hand, or in reserve. So want to know what that means as we progress through the game and get new sets.
Well, this is something like sacrifice a permanent.
Correct, but when it's not in play, it's in your hand.
So like in
There's
reserve.
nothing.
That's what I'm thinking, is that like when it's in reserve, you can sack a permanent to do that. So maybe, possibly.
You know
but I
what?
guess it all depends.
That might be right. That's a good way of
Yeah.
thinking it.
Yeah. I think that this card, I mean, the problem is it was for 4. I mean, granted it's gigantic, but still, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Oh, this counts for Subash or Sierra.
Yes.
Playing an expedition permanent for 3 or more. Or is it 3 or less?
It's 3 or more.
Then there you go. This counts for Lelo. Or this counts for...
Yeah, but it doesn't give you any additional stats. It gives you the additional...
you get the brass bug, yeah. Well, that's the point, is that if you're out of...
But the brass bug's not gigantic.
Correct, but I think that's kind of the point, though, is that, like, if you have something that says, like, if you have a permanent play, when you play a permanent of X cost, this can... Like, it's a character that does it, then rather than losing out on playing a character for the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, the effect is good, hate the artwork.
Yeah, not a card I'd personally use. I just don't think it's worth the value that you're paying. But you know what? Someone's going to figure this out and make it amazing.
The only thing that I will say that I do like about this card is the like the water kind of looking like space. So you see like the stars in Alelo and like, but it's water.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like nebulous.
I'm going to talk a bit about the lore as we go along. But if you read through the lore, that's the way, because it's an eel.
Mm-hmm.
The water helps it survive, and it helps it move through the sky.
Yeah, so
it leaves it.
I like that part of it, but that's about it. The face kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary for Altered.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie though, when they finally do a space set, I might cry because I love space.
Not sure if they're gonna. Well, maybe, you never know.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily like in space, but like space themed. You know, like the stars and the galaxies influencing Earth or whatever. So anyway,
set. That takes us to Axiom Puppeteer, 3/2 for 3/3/0, both the common and the rare. The common says when played from hand, you may sacrifice a permanent to sabotage. The rare is adds in when you sacrifice a permanent. If I have no boost, I gain 1 boost. So that's not bad at all. Very much in line with Izuri having the ability of sacrificing. This is actually a reason why you may want to pay the 1 to sacrifice. We have both selected the common purely because it's a nice sabotage, very, very cheap.
And you get free resupply.
And you get a free... You don't get a resupply on the common, though.
Yeah, you do. If you sacrifice an Aerolith?
Oh, sorry. If you sacrifice an Aerolith,
that's what I mean. Like, this in Izuri, good. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Also, with the rare Aerolith Reef, you can do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
and you can sacrifice one without paying the cost. That's the other part, because the action comes from the card, from the Axiom Puppeteer.
Yeah.
I think this is useful. I have seen this in a numerous decks already.
And what about the Depot? Depot lets you draw, right? So, I mean, you select this to draw, even.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, this is a great card. I love this card. I played this card in the pre-release.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And what you can see in the background is the puppet that the it's a Titan, as they call it, that he is controlling.
Mm-hmm. Such a good card. Love this card. Okay, I did not pick this signet because there is a second signet in this set.
That is
and I think the other signet is better. Well, okay. If I'm going to be 100% honest, this signet does really well. I really like this. The problem is that more often than not, though, I'm going to play the common version of this signet. So, Axiom Signet, 2 from hand, 4 from reserve. You may choose 1, create a brass bug in target expedition. Target permanent you control activates its from anywhere abilities, and discard target permanent with hand cost 3 or less. And most other signets, the rare is 3 from hand, 3 from reserve, and you can pick 2 of those, but it is fleeting. I'll be honest. I only really care about that middle ability, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, more often than not, that's what I'm going to be trying to activate.
Yeah, you can discard a permanent with hand cost 3 or less as well, but for when you're only paying 2, it's not bad. If you're playing the 4 from reserve, it's awful.
Yeah.
But yes, target permanent you control activates its from anywhere ability is probably what you do. You can use this in anything. You can use it in Sierra when you've already got your, what are we calling them? The hives out. You can use it for sacrificing if you've got that permanent. There's so much you could use it for. That is the main benefit. If I was going to go any, I'd probably go the rare because I'd like the idea of doing 2 things at once. But just because I don't think I'd ever pay 4 from reserve.
That's fair. That's 100% fair.
Yeah.
My thing is just like, you're right.
But there's better cards.
There are better cards. My other thing too is that like, I don't really want to waste 3 mana to. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, creating the brass bug is definitely good if you're wanting to play it, but especially in a deck where most of your value is coming from your permanents, I feel like activating the permanent ability is going to be infinitely more cost effective than creating a brass bug for 3.
Correct.
So
I completely agree. But it's very versatile. 3 things that Axiom, all the signets end up doing that. Very, very, very central.
Yeah.
And all 3 can be used by any of the heroes as well.
Yeah. And I really like this. Again, I'm so sorry, Trickster. I know you probably hate listening to me talk, but I love the art, like the plasma welding, the plasma etching on this looks so good. Ugh, beautiful card. All right. I did pick this card.
Beowulf is the next one.
First off,
go ahead. One of your favorites.
I love this card. First off, Beowulf, one of the most fascinating epic poems on the planet. Homer, who? Aeneid, when?
Wow.
I love Beowulf. It is so good. Also, mostly because, like, as a linguist, I really liked listening to people try and do the old English version of Beowulf, like how it was originally written.
English.
Yeah, so it's so good, and so I love Beowulf. I love the story of Beowulf. Movie kind of weird, not gonna lie, but
it's a cartoon one, right?
Yeah, well, it's kind of cartoony. It's like 3D CG, like right when CG was getting really big. It's got Angelina Jolie, and it's a weird movie. But Beowulf is 5 from hand, 5 from reserve, 5/5, and it has when I leave the expedition zone, you may play a permanent with base cost 3 or less for free. Now, I don't know about you, but I really like this card.
I think it's really useful in terms of like it's such a cool idea. The thing is, and the fact that it costs 5 isn't too bad because you're still getting 5 and 5 in stats in 2 of the 3 colors. But the fact that you can play a base, you can play a permanent, like in Sierra, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like you play this and then you get a brass bug.
Yeah.
And you get whatever effect for the permanent that you play.
Yeah. Like the way that I think about it is that, look at it this way. This is great for the end of day, for when you have to, like, when it leaves the expedition, you can play down any permanent for 3 costs or less, and then you can resupply off of that if you have more than 2 in your thing, right? So you're potentially getting an extra resupply or whatever. But the fun thing is that this is 3 or less, so that technically you can play down. What was the first part? Like Abandoned Depot. You can play down Abandoned Depot to draw, and then immediately sack it at the end of the day to draw again.
Only if you've already got 2.
Well, but that's the point. Isery and Axiom that's all it cares about in this set, really, is getting as much aerolith.
Yeah, not just that, also Sierra, because Sierra is more than likely going to have something, and you got to make sure that it is 3.
Yeah.
Then you start the next day with a brass bug as well.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like if you do something that has a special benefit, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
I think
and then even if it's removed, if this gets removed from one side, you still get the benefit.
See, this is how they should make all the cards that are a bit more expensive. So to basically give you a choice to say, I actually want to play it, and you choose to bring some in rather than the whole trace style build that is basically 1s and 0s, 1s and 2s. That's it.
Love this card. I want to see the uniques of this so bad.
Yeah, I haven't got one yet.
Which we finally got set for OP packs. So Gonna start trying to hunt for some uniques now.
Nice.
So, good card. Anyway, Bessie Coleman. Fun fact: Bessie Coleman's on a quarter.
Well done for bringing in the African American / Indigenous. So, I'm used to saying the word Indian. I don't know what the proper term in the US
I like
is.
Indigenous. First people.
Indigenous person. First African American pilot.
Yeah.
First Indigenous pilot in the US.
So, 2 from hand. And honestly, I kind of like the fact that they're doing like Native American, Indigenous, like that kind of stuff too. Man in the Maze. Oh, don't even get me started. All right. 2 from hand, 2 from reserve. Bessie Coleman. 2 all. When you sacrifice a permanent, if I have no boosts, I gain a boost. And then the rare, which I think is better, when you sacrifice a permanent, if I have less than 2 boosts, I gain a boost.
So you can potentially boost this up to 3. So it'll be a 2/2 for 5/5/5 potential.
Yeah. So I kind of like this card. I don't know who would play it, but I like it.
Yeah, it's very useful. Once again, the boosts don't come very often unless you're sacrificing at end of day. But once again, you have to find a way of keeping this character around.
Which, I mean, you got Moona Druid, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's not much at all that you can do that, but really nice.
Yeah, agreed. Blue, I'm sorry, man.
This is a rubbish card. It is for me. Like 2/2 for 2/2. Okay, it's evenly statted. Sure. But when you're putting a condition here, nobody fails to move forward. This is not Odyssey. And you're not getting anything that's really that great.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be good in Matt's.
What do you...
I mean, because, Matt's has 3 landmark spots, but...
yeah, but...
That's fine. I mean, sorry for everybody who hasn't seen Matt's yet. I know. Well, that's the thing. This is an Ortis, though.
Yeah, it is.
So that's the only reason why this card you would play is because of Ortis. I can't see any...
So... It also could go Waru if you're talking about, but we're not talking Odyssey because it's a bureaucrat, so it could fall asleep. But
I don't think
play Waru these days.
I don't think there's
this is
any.
rubbish.
I don't think there's any Axiom deck that's going to play this. If I'm going to be honest, I'd be surprised.
The best thing about Blue Cap is Blue's reveal video.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I can't wait to when they bring in the red caps, those horrible goblins. So, all right, Brass Bug Dropship.
I think this is a very useful card. I've seen it being played a fair bit as well.
Yeah, this card is awesome. And I think the rare is technically the standout one out of these 2. So 3 from hand, 3 from reserve, landmark permanent. When I'm sacrificed, create a brass bug in each of your expeditions. First off, horrifying. Absolutely disgusting. Are you kidding me? For 3?
3/3 for 4/4 in value. The thing is, it is delayed, so you cannot usually get it that same day that you play it, but you could get it for the next day.
Axiom Puppeteer, dog.
It's true.
That's all you got to do.
Play that and this, so together. The other way of looking at it is if you're able to build this in alongside some of your if your Sierra builds once you've got the Hive out, then it gets really scary because instead of getting 4/4, it's 6/6 or 8/8, right?
Yeah. I mean, you think of it this way, right? You play this turn 1 with Sierra, you get a brass bug, right? Turn 2, you play Axiom Puppeteer, you sack it, you get a brass bug.
You get 2 brass.
So you get 2 brass bugs. Ugh, it's disgusting. Such a good card.
You can do a lot.
And the rare is even worse because it's 1 cheaper.
It is.
So
there's lots of potential here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think I might try and build my Sierra deck now with that junior chef that I have.
There you go.
I think I might try and finally do it. Just play all the Moona Druids, anything that get it anchored, and then just go to town. So, all right. Now.
That does take us to...
I love this card. I want to preface this. And we've already talked about it, why I love this card so much.
Go ahead.
So, Brassbug Nursery, I'm not lying, is the best landmark permanent ever to exist in this game. It is so funny. So the common 4 for 4. 4 from hand, 4 from reserve. Create an Aerolith token in your landmarks on play from anywhere. You may tap it, pay 1, sacrifice a permanent, create a 2/2 brass bug token in target expedition. The rare is 3 from hand, 3 from reserve. It loses out on creating the Aerolith, but still has that ability. Now, we've already talked about this. The 110% brass bug on the artwork that is going Mach 15 is so good. But more than that, if I'm going to build my Sierra deck, it is going to be around this, and it's going to be around Aerolith generation, and it is going to be around dropship.
Okay, so not Hive.
No. Hive is still going to be in there because you have to remember, it's going to be 3 hives, 3 nurseries, 3 dropships,
Wow.
and 3 Munadruids. And then whatever else I can get to just freaking get me as many landmarks as possible.
Yeah, there's lots of potential in here, but I do believe it requires a fair bit of setup to get the benefit right. Isri takes advantage of this the most because when you can sacrifice any permanent, you get the benefit from the sacrifice and you get the brass bug.
Yeah.
So very, very useful. I think
so much value in this card.
Go more than the common.
Yeah.
Even though you're not getting the Aerolith on play, and that's the one you've chosen as among your top 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, and the good part about this is that this is basically every turn.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this at the start of every turn to immediately sack something and then just create a brass bug.
Yeah, it does cost you 1, but that's very little for what you're getting.
Yeah, but the best part about it is that that's a free action. So you can still play a card after that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I like this card a lot. Love this card. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this card.
Okay, a lot of people are playing this right now.
Really?
Demolition Expert, because they play it from hand, they create the Aerolith, that then you play from reserve and you get the benefit. Right? It's
like immediately, like play it one and then play it again.
Play it the next day. So you're getting an Aerolith token, which is great for when you're playing it for hand. Yes, it is slightly understated at the common, but then the next day you've already created the token that you sacrifice, or you may have already something else there that you want to sacrifice, the draw a card, the what are we calling it, the sabotage. There's lots of
yeah.
And if you don't have anything, at least you're getting the token from the Aerolith up on play from hand. What you don't really want to do is just play this from reserve in many cases, unless you're traced. Then you may not want to sacrifice any of the permanents that traced has.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's good that these cards are made more for other people. So and the flavor of it is really cool. Like, he sets it up and then he destroys it, just like a demolition guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can see he's blown up his hand already. So as most good
demolition, most of the demolition expert. What the heck? Mm-hmm. That was interesting. All right, detonation. 4 from hand, 4 from reserve. Spell disruption. Has fleeting in the common and in the rare. You may sacrifice a permanent to reduce my cost by 1 in the common, and you may send target character to reserve. I think that technically is better than the rare.
Yeah, the rare allows you to do it to sacrifice it by 2, but then you're limited to what you can get rid of.
Yeah,
I think this is a very, very useful removal. And you don't get much removal right now that is useful in Axiom. I think this is going to become one of the ones that is used mostly, especially with you have the potential now for Sierra, of course, with Isri. I'm not sure if Traced will use it as much, and I definitely don't know. I don't know if anyone's actually going to be using it in what's his name, in Subashi.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't go with the flavor. Once again, they're similar but not in the same kind. But I think Detonation is going to get a lot of play.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good.
It's for 3. Like, you can unconditional removal basically for 3, given you already have lots of.
And you get a resupply, or a draw,
a resupply,
or a brass bug.
It may be a whole bunch of options.
Yeah, Again, dollar store discount, man. That's what Axiom is right now. Okay, Farfetch. Uh, more robots, lots of robots. Which again, super stupid. This is so funny. Farfetch 2.0, 4 from hand, 4 from reserve, 3/4/4. On play, you may sacrifice a permanent. If you do, target character switches expedition.
So it's got
And
an element
then
of
hooked.
hooked to it. I guess hooked is very useful, but more at the rare because you get the draw a card.
Right.
This will still allow you to win one side and not the other, so there are benefits to that. You can also use it strategically if they've got a card that's gigantic. If they've basically laid out the Eat Me Energy bar, for example, you can make it become gigantic, win a side, and they don't get the benefit for the next day. So there's a few things you can do, but all in all, it's an okay card. It's not one I've seen used, and not one that I've got in any of my builds at the moment either.
See, I think it's funny. So to be fair, the rare is cheaper by 1, so 3 from hand, 3 from reserve. It loses stats in mountain and water, making it a 3/all. It still has the same effect. Robots are good. We all know that robots are good in Axiom. The funny thing is, again, the fact that there's so much permanent sacking in Axiom right now, and the fact that you get more than just a benefit, like you have variety now with your sacks. That's where I think that this card might see a little bit of interesting play.
Yeah, there is. And if you've built an all robot build, it is expensive though. 4 is not something you normally do. Do you want to use the rare? You might, but the fact that it's going to get a boost if you're playing Sierra and you've already got your Brassbug Hive out, or if you then play an Ogun behind it, you get the +1. Lots of benefits, and there's a lot of synergies with cards that require you to be a robot. So there's that potential.
Are you a robot?
Am I?
Are you a robot? So, all right, let's move right along. I want you to talk about this card.
Honestly, this does not go in. So, Flying Dockyard, the art is amazing, but it doesn't really go in with any of the flavor of what you're trying to do in Axiom. Like when you pass first, you can create an Aerolith token in your landmarks. You are never usually trying to do this unless you're playing Sierra. In Sierra, maybe you do want to go because you're paying a lot more expensive things. But at the same time, getting an Aerolith token is meh for Axiom in my mind when you're wanting to really go last. So it's counterintuitive. There's going to be some people that play this that may be beneficial. I think Sierra is the one that I can think of the most. That goes more along the lines of the way that they play. But once again, someone could come up with something amazing. I love that it has Helua in the background as well, but I've got no idea how it will be used.
The Bravos version of this is so much better.
What's the Bravos one say? It makes sense to Bravos though.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I don't remember what it does, but I know that a lot of Bravos players that I've heard talking about playing this card, they're very excited to play this card. So, nice. But genuinely speaking, the artwork looks a little better in Bravos, in my opinion.
Okay, so the rare in Bravos says when you pass first, target character gains 1 boost, then create an Aerolith token in target players at landmarks. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. The common is the same as this, where you create an Aerolith token.
Yeah. So, okay. Good card. Like the card. Gavroche! We talked about this already in Izmir, right? No, Lyra.
What he's on.
He's Lyra.
He's at Lyra?
Yeah, he's Lyra. So 1 from hand.
Create an Aerolith.
Yeah. 1 from hand, 2 from reserve, 0/0/1 or 0/1/1. My bad. Create an Aerolith, and again, this is kind of funny. The Axiom the Axiom rare says 1 from hand, 1 from reserve, 0/1/1, and you may sacrifice a permanent to create an Aerolith token in your landmarks.
Yeah, I've seen people use it purely because it's so cheap to play.
Yeah.
A mini after you that can give you other benefits. The rare is probably where I'd use more than the common, purely because you're getting the action of sacrificing to potentially resupply. So it actually can recover itself.
Yep.
If you've got the aerolith, both useful in Traced and in who's the new hero? Dang it!
Isri.
Got to get used to these new heroes. Isri, thank you.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Once again, most of the things we're talking about are benefiting 3 of the heroes. Very little have we mentioned Sulbash in terms of something being useful for them.
Yeah.
It would be potentially useful for them in the resupply, I guess, in this case.
But, Monsieur Gavroche.
Mm-hmm.
So
from Les Mis.
Yeah, talked about that one too. Okay, Kali. All right.
Another deity from our Hindu, right?
Yeah. Fun fact, I saw a new card from Lorcana, and it said banish target deity character. And I was like, where's this card in Altered? So, but I love Kali. This card I think is really cool. The artwork, phenomenal. I want to say Kali is the goddess of death.
I'm not sure.
Hold on. I'm gonna do that. Here, you look it up. I'll talk about Kali. Okay. 2 from hand, 2 from reserve, character deity. 3 from hand, 3/3/2 in the stats, and on play from hand, you may put a permanent from your hand in reserve. If you don't, sacrifice a permanent. Again, come on, dude. Excuse me. Pardon me. Apologies for that.
It like in many cases, you're wanting to sacrifice.
Yeah, you want
very
the sack
useful in Isri and any deck that seems similar to it. She's the goddess of preservation, transformation, and destruction.
So destruction. It's destruction. Because death and destruction are technically 2 different things. So, yeah, no, this card... Because here's the fun part. Is that if you're playing... is it Icebound Peak? No. Mm-hmm. What is it? The one, again, from hand to reserve, or deck to reserve. Mm-hmm. Is that Peak?
I'll find out.
I can't remember. The point is that either way, this is a benefit. Is that if you're going to be playing Peak, you want this card. Even if you're not playing Peak, you want the sacrifice. So, again,
it's Icebound Hollow.
Hollow, that's what it is. The amount of versatility that you're getting is just nuts. It's so good.
True. I think Kali's fantastic. Honestly, I've seen it being used. And the fact that you're paying 2 resources for something that is overstated that then gives you a benefit, why would you not play this?
Yeah.
Outside of it being a rare, but the fact that you're getting 3/3/2 for 2/2 in value, and you can put a permanent from your hand in reserve if you want to, or you can sacrifice a permanent to get that benefit, you're more than likely going to get even more benefit from it. So
Kali's Izmir, right? Because this is the Adefaction.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
It makes sense it is Izmir?
Yeah, I think it is Izmir. If not Izmir, then it's Bravos. But I want to say that it's Izmir because I want to say that it says you may put a spell from your hand into reserve. If you do, or if you don't, you do something.
Yes, it is in Izmir.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. We'll talk about that.
It is a spell. Good job.
I don't know what the if you don't does, but we'll talk about that when we get to Izmir.
You got to sacrifice a character.
Lindaway?
Yes.
Lindaway. Okay, moving on to Lucan. Poor Wayfarer. So sad. It's not actually the Wayfarer, guys. Don't worry. They're just balloons. 5/4 hand and reserve cost. 2/2/2 gigantic, and on play from anywhere, you may discard any number of cards from your reserve to give me that many boosts. The rare 5 from hand, 5 from reserve, same stats, 2 all. Gigantic tough 1, which already seems infinitely better in my opinion. And on play from anywhere, you may sacrifice any number of permanents to give me that many boosts.
So in most cases, you could potentially sacrifice 2, and then you're getting 5/5 for 8/8/8 worth of value. So that's more beneficial. And in many cases in Isri, you do want to actually sacrifice. Then you are starting again from scratch, though. That's the only problem with doing this is you don't have the build-up. Part of Isri's game plan is to make sure that you constantly have more than 2 permanents available in you at the end of day. This means you're going to start afresh.
Yeah.
But for end of day, end of game, this could be really, really useful.
I hate to bring this up. This is another bounty.
Oh. And now you got to stop talking.
I
About this, 'cause
know.
people are completing them without.
I
doing
know.
The first part.
I know. I'm sorry. Everybody, we're going to talk about it later. Stop doing the bounties. They're
do
not.
them, but there's no benefit
Yes.
until we've got everything set
Yeah.
up.
There is a specific thing. You're not adventurers yet. You have to become an adventurer first. But I do have a bounty. I think basically almost every Leviathan. That's not true. I'd say about like half of them. Half of the Leviathans have stuff that I want bounty stuff for.
We could do one for each one eventually. Like, the thing is, we have to have enough packs to be able
That's
to
also true.
away.
Well, that's the thing, is that they're uniques that we're giving away. Specifically my uniques that I've been trading and giving away basically. So
we
this
should
is
ask our locals to see if we can get some
that's
more.
I'm gonna do a unique fair. So we'll talk about it later. But there's so much stuff that I feel like the Leviathans, if you play them right, are just horrifying. They're just so scary. And the other ones are just good. They're just good support cards.
Yeah. Actually, while we're out there, if you have any uniques that you don't want, that you want to give to Nick or I, find us on the Discord. We'll give you our information, and we're more than happy to have those. I'm happy to print them out, and that way we can have them available. If we're doing printouts, if we're just doing digital, then we just send them through the digital pack.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't matter what it is. It's more a fun thing for people to say, I've completed it.
And you get
a name on the Wall of Fame.
And let me be clear. I am giving out for free 12, and more often than not, these are going to be unscanned. Like in Chili's case, like, if they need to be given away, we're fine doing that too. There's no issue with that. Mm-hmm. Most of these are going to be unscanned uniques. So
I honestly feel it's easier if you scan it and send it across, because you can never trust the postal service.
That's true.
For those people in Canada, you definitely can't trust that they'll actually be working those days. So
yeah, but to be fair, that's why I'm doing this, because again, I think it's funny, I think it's great, I think it's fun. So that's why I'm doing this. If you would like to contribute to the cause, I would very much appreciate it. Okay.
Nice.
Moving on to the best signet in this set.
Yeah, but you didn't put your...
Correct. And you'll find out why later.
Okay, Lyra Signet is what I've chosen here. 3/3, so it's at the out of faction rare.
Mm-hmm.
Fleeting, choose 2. Up to 2 target characters gain fleeting. That is one of the most annoying things you can do to your opponent, and I think it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can draw a card, then roll a die on a 4+ resupply. If you're playing against Traced and you play this against them, it's fantastic when they're trying to build up the counters. They don't get anything in reserve. Then draw a card, and then you have the chance of resupplying as well if you roll a die and get 4+, or target character gains 1 boost per card in your reserve. An Anansi, which we know is one of the most impactful effects that we have available to us. Really, really useful.
Yeah, Nancy's not one of the most annoying cards in this game. Said no one ever.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot more hate towards it now that you can get rid of things that are 2 or less much easier.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but still, like that effect, especially like the fact that you can give this to anything, scary.
Yeah.
This card, can you imagine this card with Lucan?
Oh, cool.
So like first, like you basically you give something all the boosts, like on the field, and then you get rid of everything. That would be really scary. Okay.
All right.
Madame Marie Curie. 3 from hand, 2 from reserve. Scientist. I don't ever remember seeing scientists.
I don't think I've seen anyone be classified as a scientist before.
So
I'm sure there has been some.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to take a look.
Jin? No, he's been inventor.
Who?
I'll say his name properly.
I don't even know who you're talking about. Marie Curie, scientist, 3 from hand, 2 from reserve, 3/3/2 in the stats. It's kind of fine. In the rare, 2 from hand, 2 from reserve, 3/3/2, and on play from hand, you may sacrifice a permanent. If you don't, I gain fleeting. Again, sacrificing permanents, good card to have. You still looking up your...
There's no. You know what's crazy is that you can't even. It should be a subtype, but there's no subtype yet on the altered website for scientist.
Oh, really?
No.
Interesting. Huh.
Which means she might be the first one.
That'd be really cool, honestly. Okay, moving on to Medusa, another deity character. 3 from hand, 5 from reserve.
Yeah. So on this one, this just reminds me so much of Star Wars.
Yeah, like the
It's
outfit.
the green girl from Star Wars. Yeah, the outfit. This looks more like Star Wars than
The
it does
Twi'leks.
I don't know what the green girl is. I'll find out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're Twi'leks. 3 from hand, 5 from reserve. 3/2/3 in the stats. You may discard on play. On play from reserve. You may discard target character. If you do, create an Aerolith token in its controller's landmark. And the rare equals out the stats. Same hand cost and reserve cost. 3/3/3 in the stats. On play from reserve, you may discard target character. If you do, create an Aerolith token in each player's landmarks.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm surprised that you knew it was Twi'lek. You were right, by the way. Good job.
Who's a nerd? I'm a nerd. I got it, man. I mean,
awesome.
I don't.
It's understated.
But I mean, it does. It's unconditional discard, though.
Yes, and discard is useful because if they played it from hand, they don't even get to play it from reserve.
Yeah.
So there is a benefit to that, but
I mean, it is unconditional.
5 is a lot,
but you also get 3 stats off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're gonna need to do more research on this.
I think it has benefit, but most people are not paying. It's too much for most people to play. Do you want to spend 5? The good thing is from hand it's still 3. So
yeah,
it's actually from reserve that's the issue. The hard part is you can never play this first. You have to play it after they've played something. So you open yourself up to sabotage.
Yeah,
but could be useful.
Could be useful. We're gonna need to do more research on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Nymph. All the Mountain Nymphs are good. All the Nymph cards are good. I specifically am not playing this. The only reason why I'm playing this card is because I have one unique, and it is the better of the uniques that I've pulled so far and gotten. I meant to get Nicole. I'm very sorry. I meant to grab a unique from you before you left back for Washington. Apologies. I completely forgot. I was just so excited. She had a unique that was so good. It was nuts.
And you were going to take it from her?
I was going to trade for it.
Oh, okay.
Excuse it. It's Lyra. Nobody plays Lyra. So, Mountain Nymph, out of faction from Lyra, 3 from hand, 2 from reserve, 0/4/0. On play from anywhere. If I'm facing an expedition in Mountain, create an Aerolith in target player's landmarks.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Cool. I guess.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The hard part is you only want to play this when you're both on Mountain, because either you get a benefit or you get to remove something from them. So while it does happen, it's not every day, so it's very conditional. It's not a card I'd actually play, even though the 4 stats is huge for 3 resources, especially from reserve. It's 2 resources. But it's too conditional for Axiom, in my mind.
Yeah. Okay. Enough said. Moving on. Paju.
Very useful card.
Fun fact. Fun fact. I have learned that this is not actually Paju. This is the Eidolon of Paju.
Of yes, it is. It is the Eidolon Paju.
Yeah,
Paju's dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know that we necessarily know that for 100%.
Well, you do. An Eidolon cannot come unless the person has died.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
So they have passed. And this set actually has a lot of Sierra. Is it Sierra?
Oh, wait, no. That's not true. Because I just heard about this today, about how Abby is an Eidolon of Abby, but she's alive in Arcaster.
I don't think so. Okay, you might be right,
Maybe.
but an eidolon is conjured up from the memory of someone.
Right.
You know what? Let's talk to
I'll have to check on that because
yeah.
I
Let's
swear, yeah, we'll check to, because I asked somebody about this, or I asked Yoshi about this today, because somebody's like, they're only eidolons in the tumult. And so I was like, huh, I didn't really think about that. So anyway, we're going to talk about that later. Don't worry about it, guys.
okay.
Don't worry, dads are not fighting. 2 from hand, 2 from reserve, 2 all in the stats. Uh, and it has a free ability to create an aerolith, which, cool. The rare, though, it's kind of cool. 2 from hand, 2 from reserve, 2/2/0 in the stats. When a robot or token joins my expedition, first off, what? Excuse me? When a robot or token joins, no. From a 2/2 card, no, thank you.
But you only get one boost, but you get a boost and an aerolith.
Yeah,
So that's
if I have
pretty
no
useful.
boost, I gain a boost, then create an aerolith token in your landmarks, and you can create an aerolith token in your player. And first off, no card needs that outside of uniques, but I know that it happens. But that's just cool. I love that they just gave that to just a rare card.
There's lots of benefits to this. I see people play the common. I haven't seen the rare too much, and the common is more, especially if you're playing traced. It's your ability of not paying the cost and just creating an aerolith,
Yeah,
so that you can get your counters up quickly. So there's benefits that way.
yeah, I like this a lot too because you get a boost and an aerolith just from creating a token, which is not hard to do at all. So
I think it's useful.
yeah, I like this. I think you're going to start seeing this card a lot, both in the common and in the rare. Okay, I picked this.
Yeah, you picked Mark the Bravos Hatter's card.
Yeah,
Not really, but it looks a bit like Mark because of the hat.
it is Mark.
But,
I firmly believe that this is Mark. We're gonna call this card Phileas Mark Fog. So 3 from hand, 3 from reserve, 3/3 all. You may immediately pass. If you do, I gain a boost.
It's cool.
I like it.
It's useful, though, once again, it does not really line up too much with the way Axiom plays, where you want to be the last person to play.
Yeah.
But the fact that if you do end up passing, if you're playing against Soul, this is something you'd want, but then you're playing 4 resources, which is really good.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is that technically this goes with the other. So it is possible to build passing into your Axiom deck with this and the other landmark that we talked about earlier. So that's kind of why I like it so much. First, because, you're immediately denying Soul.
Yes, but that's useful if Soul becomes big in the meta. But, flying dockyards and this, while it's useful, then you're spending 6 rares on potential. Well, you never know.
I mean, it's going to be a fun deck. I'm not saying that this is going to be meta breaking, but I really like this card because I'm going to be honest. I've been seeing Soul play. Soul play. That's going to be the new altered cover band.
You're insane.
God, I'm an idiot. Oh, it's so good. But the problem is that Caleb plays Soul, and I don't know if you've played against his Soul deck.
No, he just started playing it. He says he'll play it this season.
You have no idea how infuriating it is playing against that deck.
Nice.
It is scary and it is stupid. So genuinely, I think if anybody's going to be able to be a good counter, I think it's either going to have to be another Bravos deck or this kind of stuff.
Interesting.
So that's why I picked this card, because I'm like, everybody needs to keep an eye out for Soul, because Soul's going to get stupid.
Soul is very strong.
Yeah.
Soul's strong. But I also think Soul is an easy hero to learn first.
Yeah.
But some of the others may become stronger over time.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
that's
takes
fair.
us to the next card, which is Priya, one of the ones that I've selected. Also, my favorite art in the set,
Yep.
Priya Bravo Signaler, 4/4 for 5/5/5, tough one. And when my expedition moves forward, create an aerolith token in your landmark. This is great because you are going to progress forward when you play this, and you're getting 2 additional stats of value, 50% more than what you're paying for.
Yep. And you get an aerolith.
That makes it the 50% because
That's
an
true.
aerolith, I call it as an additional
Oh,
1
okay.
per se.
That's fair.
So
yeah, this is a good card. I want to see the uniques on this. I'm very, very interested. Like, there are very few uniques. I'm like, I want to see what this does. So, because some of the others are like, yeah, whatever the unique is going to be fun and cool. This kind of stuff is going to be nutty. I mean, if you find a good one, at least.
I think it's very good.
Yeah.
Half's Challenge, on the other hand, I am not so sure. They could be useful.
Yeah, you know, this is great in Cowrie. I'm not so sure in Puff, or like in Puff. I'm not so sure in Axiom, right?
Yeah, the thing is, like, late game, mid to late game, this card is fantastic because your opponent is going to control 3 or more resources and 3 or more characters, and you're only paying 2 resources for unconditional removal.
Yeah.
Right? Or removal to reserve. The question that I have is, in many cases, most people are only paying 2 resources for this anyway, so you're not going to get much benefit. If the game ends up progressing where people are paying more 3-cost, 4-cost cards, then this can be fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, because you can get rid of like, if you can get rid of anchor
Yeah,
cards
again, unconditional removal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but if they're playing lots of tokens, boy,
yeah,
you're not getting any real gain, and that's where people playing against Sigismar for removal, they don't get the benefit because Sigismar just plays so many other cards.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if Axiom finally starts becoming that, the Ortis hate that's been happening a lot right now. I wonder if Axiom is finally going to start seeing that this season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting.
Now, we're going to come to what I think is the best card in Axiom. This set has been used in every trace deck that I've seen.
Yeah.
Restocking Station at the common 1/1. When played, I gain 2 Keylon counters, and then you can spend one of my Keylon counters to remove Fleeting from one of your characters. Normally what people are doing is any of the Dr. Frankensteins get replayed over and over and over again.
Izmir Signet.
These can get played over and over again. It's a character, so you can't use Signet on it, but on the common anyway.
Oh, no. What I mean is that you can activate the permanent ability.
Yeah, and then yes, you can do so much with this, so versatile, and then you just keep looping your cards over and over again.
Yep.
Incredibly frustrating to play against because in most cases you're spending much more than what they've paid for to get rid of it.
Yeah, the rare is super interesting too because it's 2 from hand, 2 from reserve. On play, it gets 3 Keylon counters, and then you can spend any number of my Keylon counters, and the same number of target characters lose Fleeting. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting.
It is, but at the same time, it's a rare slot that you don't need to because the common is so good in and of itself.
That's what I'm saying. It's interesting. Cases, I didn't necessarily say it was good.
No, it's useful, but for draft, if you get this, why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on. God,
the Djinn.
Let me tell you this right now. I've talked about this. You're going to start, I think you might start seeing Sabash ramp.
Ooh.
Because now you have Smoldering Djinn and you have Swift Djinn that you can play in Axiom for ramp. I think you might start seeing Sabash ramp. Because the reason why a lot of people aren't playing Sabash is because of the pay 1, right? Mm-hmm. This kind of counteracts that just a little bit. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying a lot.
Where you're ahead, then you're going to be further ahead.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's useful.
Yeah. Love the Djinns. That being said, though, my Bravos deck, dog, let me tell you right now, you're going to start seeing Djinn Tribal all day long.
Djinn Tribal, basically ramp. The only thing with that is if you ramp too much, then you don't have any cards to play.
That's
and you don't
true.
have a choice in many cases.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. Because if you ramp your whole deck, you don't have anything else
oopsie.
to play.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that in some cases you can just discard down. You don't have to play the stuff. But anyway, 2 from hand, 4 from reserve, 2-3-0 in the stats, and on play from reserve, put the top card of your deck into your mana zone.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Sick. Cool. Studious Acolyte, just moving right along.
Yeah.
Studious Acolyte, the progression of Studious Disciple. 2 from
It's
hand,
true.
1 from reserve, 1 all in the stats, and you may play permanents for 1 less if their base cost is 4 or more.
Very useful in Sierra. Outside of that, no one else is playing anything more than maybe Subash. Subash might as well.
Yeah, that's true. Love the artwork on this though. I love seeing the character progressions, which I'm so sorry to bring this up. We have confirmed new Sinisa for set 5.
Yes, I saw that from today's
Dog.
article.
Ugh. Sinisa is one of my favorite characters. I love Sinisa so much.
Are
So,
you coming back to Odyssey?
no, I'm gonna play Izmir for Sinisa. Okay, Opera House. Again, this is just fun. This is funny. 2 from hand, 2 from reserve. Reveal. So tap this card. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a spell, draw it. If it's a permanent, put it into reserve.
Mm-hmm.
This is just funny. This is good.
I think permanents, yes, you're not really going to be playing that many spells. So
Signets.
This will be really good in Sierra, even though it's only a 2/2/2.
Yeah. I believe that most of your deck is going to be permanents. Like it's going to be the majority of permanents and characters.
It's okay in Sierra because once you start having your permanents, this will replace the Opera House, and then you've got no way of using it. So,
and I think that's I think that's the point of it, is that in some cases you kind of want it to be in reserve. I feel like, but it's the fun part is that it's also just digging.
Yeah.
So either way, it's a dig because you can either get a signet into your hand because more often than not, those are the spells that you're going to be playing if you are playing spells. And if you're getting a permanent, you resupply into it. So I like this. I like the card. It's good turn 1 setup.
It could be, yeah. It's not bad, but you're not getting any stats on board when you play it.
True.
Okay, let's go to the Tortoise, which is the next card, which is 2/2 for 0/0/3. Pretty simple. This one actually could win you an expedition on day 1, purely because you're of the 3 in water. And then the next day you have an after you. We don't really have that many after you opportunities in Axiom.
Yeah, that's true.
While the card looks great, I don't think it's going to see much play, even though it is only 2 cost, because while you may progress, so will your opponent.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I like the idea of after you and Axiom, but it kind of seems pointless.
It's a waste of a card for them,
especially it's a waste of a rare slot.
A rare, exactly.
So I don't know.
Now, the next card is so weird to me.
Undine.
Yeah,
I think that's I want to say some people say like Undini, but that just sounds too much like the Jawas from like Undini.
I have no idea. It's such a wacky card.
Yeah. So fun fact, the Undines are basically the water nymphs from Greek mythology. So, so 1 from hand, 1 from reserve, 1 all in the stats. Which, I mean, if you care about just after Ewing, but then the next spell you play this turn loses fleeting as a free action.
Okay, so the free action might be very useful.
Yeah. Especially
imagine if you're playing the rare signets.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, and also any of like the big spells that maybe you're gonna be playing, you might play. I feel like again this card is much better in Izmir. This is the out of faction from Izmir, but I think this has potential depending on what you're doing in Axiom.
Yeah, like the ones you could potentially like use it for, like detonation might be useful. As we said, the signets. No, there's no other one that you'd probably Avalanche maybe would be one that you want to play this again. Blizzard and Avalanche.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's many others that you'd want to do. Boom, I guess.
I
Kill
mean,
on
that's
Earth, Team Up
yeah.
Training. There's a few options there.
Mechanical training.
Yeah, the other one you could probably use it on is Hooked when played from reserve. So you can play it again to draw another card. There's a few things.
I didn't even think about stuff like Hooked.
So there's benefits. The fact that it's so cheap, though. Look, I think people use it. I haven't seen it much though.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the meta, see if anybody's playing it.
I honestly I can't even remember seeing it in any of the things we've cast or in any of the tournament recaps that I do.
Yeah, I feel like Aloe Vera and Undyne are going to be good friends.
Mm-hmm. The Wing Monkey, which has got not Alice in Wonderland, that's got Dorothy Gale in the background. 3/1 for 0/2/0. When played from hand, I gain 2 boosts. So it's really for 3 cost, you're getting 2/4/2, which isn't too bad. Then you create an Airlift token in target player's landmark. I think that could be pretty useful for a number of the decks. And then from reserve, it's 1, so it's nothing.
Yeah, so
useful, but once again, rare slot, which is hard.
Yeah. And then I believe this is the last card in Axiom, and we both picked this.
That's right. This is Rinku / the world champion himself and our former roommate in Dallas. This is the card he revealed. More for Bravos, but it is in the Axiom. You may rush to draw a card. Drawing a card. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what the benefit is there.
Yeah, you play this in Undyne. Right? Because you play this for 3, you play Undyne for 1, and you get a card out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any 1 cost, you know?
1 cost.
Yeah. And the Axiom has a plethora of 1 cost that they like to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's so much versatility in Axiom now. It's kind of wild how much versatility there is now.
Yeah. The only thing is it's forcing you to play ahead when you normally want to play reactive. But the fact that you're getting to draw a card is really so strong.
Yeah. So look at that. Just barely over an hour.
We made it. That's not bad.
Oh, and guess what? We get to do it again. We get to do more.
I know.
So,
well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope this has been fun. There's some cards that I saw to have from a different perspective based on your discussion, Nick. So I'm looking forward to playing some of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still haven't got my physical playset of so much of the cards, so I need to build that out with the help of some of our locals and trading. So
yeah, fun facts. The set rules so much. I love this set so much. And everybody, Halloween's coming up, so remember to embrace your inner child. Have a little bit of fun. Remember, eat just enough candy to where you think you're going to hate it for the rest of your life, and then just don't eat the last Snickers. Don't do that. So that way you can maintain your addiction to Snickers. So that's my advice for this week. So that's because next week or a week and a half, give it a couple days. So with that, everybody, we'll absolutely see you on the next one.
Hasta luego.
Ciao.